folks, welcome to Holiday 2 here on the Disneyland Railroad. This train is now ready to depart. You need everybody to remain seated, keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the train. Supervise small children and keep them away. Train opening. Folks, the next stop on the line here is Main Street, USA. But in order to get there, we're going to be passing through a nice dark tunnel. We want to keep it that way, so please, no flash photography, no video lighting. Include any light-up accessories or toys you may have, like Mickey ears, necklaces, bubble wands, and hats. Thank you, everybody. Our next stop will be Main Street, USA.
So, how much longer are we going to be here? Like, I need to make like a, do we really want to go as late as we want? That's late, I mean.
3 hours from now.
3 hours from now. I mean, it's going to take us 7:30. Oh, I already hit it. It's 7:30.
Well, that's just not.
Oh, find the table.
We gotta keep my cousin.
Oh, yeah.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado, tenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
The Italian place is by, it doesn't matter, downtown Disney. I think that place is gross.
Good folks, all little ones need to remain seated at all times, please. Thank you.
So let's just type in Italian rescue signature. I felt like, I mean, you're not getting your steak either, so I was wondering if you want to find a place for your steak. We'll be okay.
That was the Grand Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way.
Yeah.
Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time. We're now returning to our own time and to Main Street Station.
Alrighty, folks, we are arriving here at Main Street, USA. Everybody, please remain seated. The train comes to a full stop. Folks, this station here will be your gateway for the entrance and exit of Disneyland, as well as all other Main Street attractions. Again, folks, please remain seated. The train comes to a full and complete stop. Thank you all for joining us tonight here on the Disneyland Railroad. We hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your stay here at the Disneyland Resort. Hi, Derek.
For those of you staying with us, we'll be on our way again in just a few minutes. This is Main Street Station, Main Street, USA.
Are you guys staying on?
Yeah.
Not that it matters. Just curious. Get out of the way if you
Yeah, a
will.
little break during the day is fine.
Just taking a ride around Disneyland on the Disneyland Railroad. We're stopped at Main Street now, and we will be continuing around till we get to Tomorrowland. Sorry, I forgot my gimbal, and so this is a handheld job, so I do apologize for the wiggliness.
Alrighty, folks, for those of you that have just joined us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We are now ready to depart, so please remain seated. Keeping those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train and supervise your small children. Keeping them seated away from the train entrances or firm in the lap of parent or guardian. Next destination on the main line, New Orleans Square. Bye!
Again, folks, remain seated. Thank you.
We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños.
We are currently riding behind the world-famous Jungle Cruise. If you listen carefully, you'll hear the sounds of adventure.
But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square. This station also serves Frontierland and Bayou Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment.
Welcome to New Orleans Square. This will be your destination for such wonderful attractions as the Jungle Cruise, Indiana Jones, the Temple of the Forbidden Eye, Big Thunder Mountain, the Haunted Mansion Holiday, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. This will also be your stop for everything for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Please remain seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop in the station. Thank you for riding with us this evening on the Disneyland Railroad. And we hope you have a wonderful rest of your stay here at the Disneyland Resort.
night, ladies.
Good night. Sorry.
It's all right.
Go ahead, back open that door and go into the booth. Already booked the trains now, ready to depart. So please go ahead and take those seats. Remain seated. Once again, for everybody, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We are now ready to depart, so please take those seats and remain seated for us. Our next destination on the main line is New Orleans Square. Once again, folks, this train is ready to depart, so we're going to go ahead and take those seats, remain seated for us, so we can head off to our next destination, New Orleans Square.
That's this one. Toontown. It's been a long day, guys.
Yeah,
It's wherever it's so
Alright, fire the engine up.
Fine evening to those who are watching. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the ride on the train.
We are now departing, folks, so please remain seated, keeping those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and supervise all small children, making sure they remain fully seated and away from the train entrances. Our next destination, once again on the main line, New Orleans Square. It's going to be Mickey's Toontown Depot. After that, we're headed to Tomorrowland, and then finally to Main Street, USA. Who's supposed to be here?
Goodbye now. Goodbye now.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad.
There's the Haunted
To
Mansion.
ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a las pequeñas. Gracias. We're now entering the bayou, home to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Take a sneak peek at the big party Princess Tiana is throwing, where the welcome is warm, the music is hot, and the company is sweet. When it comes to sweetness, the inhabitants of the land are passing over for the here in Bayou, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Louis the Alligator, and other beloved critters on their fun-filled adventures.
them to spend them.
As we steam past Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree, we're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see.
Ticket folks, all children must remain fully seated on those back pockets for us, please. All children must remain fully seated on those back pockets for us, please.
There is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below.
Once again, folks, all children must remain fully seated on those bottoms. They cannot be laying chest to chest with you. All children, thank you.
People like you have been riding these trails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams and the stories that went with them were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Different audience. I'd like to go see
This tunnel signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of gear, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey Toontown, the cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated...
Welcome to Mickey's Toontown Depot, your gateway to Fantasyland. This will be your destination for such attractions as the Man Over Mountain Bobsled, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, It's a Small World, and the storybook station outlets. Please remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop. Thank you for riding with us this evening on the Disneyland Railroad.
And here we wait for more passengers to board, and then we'll move on to Tomorrowland.
tell you, like, we're leaving Frontierland, not Tomorrowland. So go for the second stop, not the first stop, okay?
I was gonna text you, yeah, I
Yeah, so at Frontierland, yeah, make sure you get Frontierland, okay? Alright, bye. Oh, crap, right. So, let's see. It's a rhythm, so it's like... And then after that, we start See what I mean?
For those of you that have just joined us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We are just about ready to depart. At this time, we need everyone to please take those seats and remain seated and do not disembark the train. We will be departing here momentarily. The train will begin moving at any moment, so please remain fully seated and do not exit the train. Our next destination on the main line is Tomorrowland. After that, we'll be headed into Main Street, USA, and then down to New Orleans Square. New Orleans Square.
Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate it.
Currently riding aboard the Holiday 2 train.
If you'd like and subscribe. I have many Disney videos.
1955 opening day.
Thank you so much for the subscription.
Our conductor in the front, his name is Jackson. He's also been in continuous service with us here at the Disneyland Resort since 1955. The Curly folks, when you look at that red light that's up ahead, as soon as it changes to green, we'll be on our way to our next destination. Right now it's red because the train ahead of us is currently in the Tomorrowland station. They're taking on some fuel, and as soon as they're finished with that, they'll be on their way, which will allow us to depart. Shouldn't be too much longer now, and then we'll be on our way to Tomorrowland.
I'd love to share with you some great insights, but I don't really have any right now. Somebody has some insights of a productive cough behind me. It's quite unpleasant.
Please remain seated. Make sure they're monitoring their little children to ensure that everyone is fully seated at this time, because we will be taking off at a moment's notice. Again, folks, please make sure all your children are fully seated as we are ready to depart. All aboard!
And here we go.
As we depart here, I'd like to remind you to please remain seated, keeping those hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train and supervise your small children. As a reminder, folks, all children must remain fully seated at all times during our journey.
Everyone, thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain.
If we don't do that, well, I'm gonna focus on Star Wars because I think you might be Star Wars. We'll see. If the Winnie the Pooh thing takes too long,
We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and if you look overhead, a glimpse of the Mark 7 monorail. This is
Except that the
latest
monorail's
version
not
of the
running.
operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail and us are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
As we steam past the scenic views of Autopia, we are pulling into Tomorrowland. This will be your destination for such attractions as Space Mountain, Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage, Star Tours, The Adventure Continues, among many, many others. Please remain seated until the train has come to a complete stop in the station, and thank you for riding with us this evening on the Disneyland Railroad. This will also be your one and only connection point to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Thank you, Robert Sprite, for subscribing. I appreciate that. This is going to be our end of this stream. Thanks for joining me on this ride around Disneyland on the railroad. I will leave you with this lovely shot of Autopia.